Worldwide financial markets are preparing for a paradigm change, and the truth is that the majority of people have no idea what's coming. A new messaging standard for financial institutions, ISO 2022, is about to be implemented, and the date has been set in stone. Global banks must guarantee compliance with all regulations by October. However, this is more than just a technological update, which is something that most people don't realize. Being aligned with a system that penalizes tardiness and encourages readiness is a forced alignment. And if you're asking which digital asset is ready to take the strain, the answer is XRP. If you're looking for the untold tales of financial technology and cryptocurrency acceptance around the world, you've found the right place. Crypto Insights. The facts we're about to reveal could determine the next chapter of XRP's history and, honestly, transform the financial landscape forever. So, go ahead and hit that like button, subscribe, and set on notifications. Let's get down to brass tacks. ISO 2022 is an international payment messaging standard that aims to unify messaging across the world's main banking networks and provide a common language for financial transactions. No cryptocurrency is intrinsically linked to it. But from the start, Ripple and the XRP ledger were designed to be compliant with ISO 2022. This distinguishes XRP as the digital asset that can be easily integrated with the modernized systems of banks, making possible the most efficient and transparent international settlements in real time. Important deadlines for the conversion to ISO 2022 are set for October, according to official schedules. Financial institutions run the danger of falling behind other institutions that have adapted to the new standard in their ability to communicate. Possible problems include slow transactions, an increase in mistakes, and a blockage of liquidity corridors. Those institutions who have been saving up XRP for this eventuality will be well positioned to transact business across borders and in real time. Rumor has it that planning has already begun. A number of prominent banks and other financial organizations are covertly preparing to use XRP as a compliant settlement asset, and the general public has no idea about this. Being convenient isn't the only consideration here. This is an absolute must. When it comes to instant liquidity and settlement, XRP is your sole option among digital assets that are prepared to meet ISO 2022 criteria. Take into consideration the enormity of this alignment. Hundreds of institutions on different continents have come to the realization that XRP and other digital assets can guarantee continuous operation, even when older technologies fail to keep up. Instead of conjecture, what we have here is a coerced agreement. A previously unseen market rise might be triggered by the accumulation of this money, as banks will require XRP to keep access to the new financial communication standard. The technical design of the XRP ledger prioritized institutional compliance. Banks adopting the new standard will find it to be the most suitable option due to its consensus protocol, transaction throughput, and inherent compatibility for ISO 2022 messaging. XRP enables full transparency, near-instant settlement, and eliminates the need for intermediaries in the conversion process, particularly what organizations require to prevent interruptions in their operations. The sense of urgency becomes apparent at this point. Financial institutions around the world will be silently but frantically amassing XRP in the coming weeks, with October as the hard deadline. This buying pressure, in contrast to the common public supposition, is entirely structural. Banks aren't buying XRP haphazardly. They have no choice but to do so in order to stay in compliance. This structural demand will surely cause prices to rise due to the scarcity it creates. With the transfer to ISO 2022 rapidly approaching, analysts are already predicting that XRP might reach $800 per coin. The story, it's not limited to specific institutions. Comprehensive pathways of global commerce, corporate treasury activities, and settlement networks would be affected. With the implementation of ISO 2022, XRP will play a pivotal role in ensuring compliant, real-time, cross-border liquidity for institutions. Pilot initiatives integrating XRP with ISO 2022 messaging have already begun testing in several European, Asian, and Middle Eastern countries, providing additional evidence that the network is prepared. The strategic importance of this should now be apparent to Crypto Insights followers as well. The world of international banking is being transformed by this story, which goes beyond technical compliance. Financial institutions that wait too long to acquire XRP will be at a disadvantage compared to those that act quickly and secure the cryptocurrency, which will help them in two ways: operational compliance and market positioning. This scenario's structural need is more solid than any speculative excitement. Both global regulation and the need for it form its basis. The larger ramifications are, to be honest, quite significant. The liquidity quarters on the XRP ledger will tighten, network activity will spike, and institutional visibility will improve drastically once institutions begin acquiring XRP at scale. The rising adoption and use cases will benefit retail investors who have held XRP, creating a positive feedback loop that increases both value and the functionality of the network. This is a perfect example of how market forces, institutional need, and regulatory frameworks may all work together to propel crypto's long-term growth. Imagine this. With the deadline looming, every major bank in the world is confronted with a use it or lose it situation. Because Ripple planned ahead to make XRP compatible with ISO 2022, it is now more than just a digital asset. It is a vital component of the infrastructure. For the next generation of financial ecosystems, XRP is a must-have asset since its ledger can manage traffic that older systems can't. There has never been a more crucial moment for this. The demand on banks to acquire XRP is growing daily as October approaches. All the institutions that aren't ready stand as symbols of demand that is bottled up and ready to be released. Institutional liquidity conversion into XRP will set off a domino effect that increases demand in all markets, regardless of currency or trading desk. When seen through the lens of the market, this is a perfect storm. An extraordinary rise is about to unfold as structural demand, a strict deadline, and broad acknowledgement of XRP's utility come together. With real institutional backing, this movement is different from the usual crypto hype cycles. Rather than being hypothetical, the buildup is necessary for practical purposes. Thanks to its scalability, the XRP ledger can handle this surge in institutional activity with little damage to settlement reliability or speed. A bigger network effect is created with each transaction, which increases the trust and acceptance of XRP. The network effect increases in magnitude as more and more international banks incorporate XRP into their ISO 2022 processes, leading to a simultaneous creation of value and liquidity. The lesson here is crystal plain: Crypto Insights family. In addition to being a technical change, the ISO 2022 move will be as a driver for both structural demand and XRP. Banks will act, liquidity will tighten, and prices will likely spike in the next weeks because of this. To decipher the market dynamics surrounding this historic event, it may be necessary to position and raise awareness of it early on. To reiterate, the purpose of this material is scholarly analysis and instruction, not professional financial advice. You should constantly be on the lookout for new information, do your own research, and seek the advice of experts when necessary. There is no denying the reality of the ISO 2022 migration. The date has been set, and XRP is ready to shine as the financial sector adjusts to a new communication standard. When October rolls along, the story will be indisputable. XRP is an essential part of the worldwide financial system, and it's more than just a digital asset.